when I was in high school, I remember there was a group of people that was really fascinating for me. There were people who had money, who had nice cars, who had what I believe it was a fun lifestyle. They always went out for parties, and I really admired them, and so I wanted to be somehow part with them. I wanted to share what they were doing. And so over the years, try to please them, try to find a way into that group, try to be approved from them. And I eventually did, and I enjoyed their company, and I saw that they were just people like anybody else. And then I moved to college, and in college I have a great experience of Jesus. Jesus started becoming important for me, and I started to change my life and my priorities. And I remember one Holy Week that I came back from home, to home. In Italy we have this tradition that we do the Station of the Cross on Fridays, but we don't do it in the church. We do it outside, in the neighborhood. And so I wanted to do the Station of the Cross, and at the same time I know that the Station of the Cross was walking and passing in front of the very place that I used to hang out with those people. And I thought to myself, now what? Now it comes to me a time where I need to decide. Do I want to be seen with the majority were older pious ladies and pious men, or I rather maybe come up with an excuse and just don't do the way of the cross. Because those people will see me. I'll be embarrassed. I don't really know what I would say. And I was torn, but in the end I said, you know what? If I'm saying I'm going to follow Jesus, if I'm saying that He's important for me, I'm going to do this way of the cross. And as we gather in front of the church before the procession starts, I start becoming very good friend with some of these older men, especially those that are very tall and big, and trying to find my way next to them as we process. So say, if I actually walk a little bit faster at some point, a little bit slower, or maybe if I pretend to be very pious and stuck my face into the book, and I don't look where those old friends are, well, maybe I won't cross eyes, they won't notice that I'm actually different, and now I'm doing this thing and I'm following Jesus Christ. And this story cannot stop coming back to my mind and heart as we read and were reflecting of Jesus coming into Jerusalem. I seen a crowd who it's so much with Jesus, all in, seems like, Hosanna in the highest, you are our King, praise to you. And then we heard the same crowd, crucify him, crucify him. Where do I stand? Sometimes our fears take over. Fears that people judge us, fears that it's not cool enough, fear that, if I'm following Jesus fully, I might be mocked. And maybe if I'm walking with him into Jerusalem, then at the end I'll see all the authority going against Jesus and see that Jesus actually looks defeated. Well, what do I do? Where do I stand? So if Jesus is walking in Jerusalem, will you walk with him? Where do you find yourself in this gospel scene? Are you one of those who are in the crowd next to Jesus? The one that maybe uses cloak, say, Jesus, sit on this. Or put the cloak on where it's passing. Or maybe you are more like me, as I was, timid, yes, Jesus, Jesus. But actually, I was more afraid of what do people say, what do people think. Sometimes, I think oftentimes we do know our fears. We're just incapable or frozen in overcoming those fears. And that's why we need courage in life. Courage is that beautiful virtue who makes us see our fears, but also gives us the strength to overcome our fears. I see what I'm afraid of, but I know I need courage to overcome what I'm afraid of. And so as Jesus is walking into Jerusalem, as we walk into this Holy Week, I think the Lord wants from us commitment. The Lord is asking us to commit. Where are you standing? Where do you stand? Yes, I need courage. As commitment might mean that maybe I need to witness for someone else. If you have the chance, if you can, come during the Triduum. Come on Holy Thursday, on Good Friday. Take Good Friday as a day of silence. Maybe even take a day of vacation. Maybe you need to work harder some other days to say, I'm going to spend a good day, Friday, just with my Lord in silence, because it's important. And that can be a testimony for other people. Like, what? You wait in a vacation day to do what? To be at your church? To think about Jesus? Think that he died on the cross? That might seem silly for some. That's why we need courage to overcome the fear that they might judge us. But maybe our witness will be the same witness that the centurion had at the foot of the cross, where he came to believe. Seeing the faith of that man, seeing how Jesus died, he said, truly, this was the Son of God. Truly, this was an innocent man. People may believe in your commitment. People may see how much you care. And I think it's encouraging that throughout the liturgy in Lent, there's a word, the very last verse of the letter to James is said over and over again, at least if you pray the liturgy of the hour. James, in his very last verse of his letter, says, whoever brings back a sinner from the error of his or her way of life will save his own soul from death and will cover a multitude of sins. If with your testimony, if with what you do because you commit and because you have the courage to commit, maybe somebody will be brought back to the faith. James says, a multitude of sins will be forgiven you, and you will save your soul because somebody is back into communion with the Lord. Because you commit, because you wanted it, because you weren't afraid to testify your faith. Today you have the opportunity, maybe when in the silence before we bring the gifts, maybe as you line up to receive the Eucharist, make this commitment. Lord, I am with you. I want to be your follower. I want to be with you no matter what. Yes, I know there will be bumps on the road. I know fear may paralyze me at times, but I want to commit. In one of his songs, Toby Mac says, if you got to start somewhere, why not here? If you got to start sometime, why not now? Here is the place and now is the time. Don't say, I'll commit later. Maybe when the Lord moves me a little bit more. Start here. Start now. Stop delaying the Lord to really bring you to the resurrection that we're eagerly looking at the end of the Holy Week. Needs courage, needs commitment. But it will change everything, your life and people's life. And many will come to believe.